Over the past few months, I've been working on a veggie-themed art project inspired by my girlfriend's new gardening hobby. It started out as an experiment with tomato and cucumber art, but the idea kept evolving, and I'll walk you through that journey today. This all began in summer of 2024 with these first tomato and cucumber pieces, where really I was just playing with some dithering techniques I found online, as well as picking my own colors instead of using a predefined color palette. I wasn't completely satisfied with the result here though, so I put the piece on pause so I could play some video games instead. And during this time, I actually introduced my girlfriend into the gardening game, Stardew Valley. While we were playing, that sparked the idea of turning the tomato into a pack of tomato seeds. And for this, I was kind of imagining what higher res art might look like in Pierre's general store. So I expanded the series into 4 seed pack designs. At this point, I got a bit of art block and I put the project down for maybe a month or a month and a half. And when I finally returned, which is the footage you've been seeing in the background, the 25 cents in the lower left-hand corner reminded me of a stamp. So I thought it would be fun to convert the existing art into stamps and then add 2 more to round it out to 6 total veggies. I started out by making a 64 by 64 box along with a wavy border and then copy and pasted the existing art into the stamp frame. I really loved the text here and I had a lot of fun making it, but I just couldn't figure out how to include it in the frame and I didn't want to have anything outside of the stamp frame. So I'll just have to save this font and maybe use it in a future project. I was thinking of doing a garlic and onion for the last 2 stamps, but I asked my girlfriend what she thought, and she suggested some autumn-themed vegetables since it's that time of year. I'm recording this in November. So of course that's what I did. That's such a great idea. Between Halloween and Thanksgiving, how could I not pick some autumn-themed vegetables? And I decided to do a pumpkin and a yellow squash, mostly because the pumpkin, I've been seeing so many amazing pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns on social media, and like I just wanted to try my hand at doing it. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. And this one just kind of like maybe 5 minutes it took me. But the yellow squash was a little bit more tricky. And this is because I didn't have a good yellow to use for the main color, and I wasn't sure how to get a nice vibrant yellow that also contrasted nicely with the background. The other thing was that the shape and texture were a little hard to decide on because a lot of the reference images that I found on Google had so much variety in this regard. Eventually, I found a good yellow and I went with this smoother squash. Maybe like it has a similar shape and texture to an eggplant or something like that, which got me wondering like is an eggplant related to squash or like what is a squash, family, all that stuff. But I Googled it and eggplants are not a member of the squash family, in case you're wondering. So at this point, we've got some nice colors, a snazzy border, and a decent application of dithering. But I decided this piece needed one extra detail. And since this whole thing was inspired from my girlfriend, and I ended up deciding to kind of make this for her, I had to add a little heart hidden in each stamp. I had started to do this when I converted them into seed packs, and then I added them to the shading of the pumpkin and the yellow squash. But at the end, when I was touching them up, I accidentally pixeled over the heart and the bell pepper, and I had no clue. Like, I didn't even realize. And I actually posted this on social media and mentioned the fact that, hey, I've got a heart hidden in each piece. This is so cool. And I didn't realize, and I had to, reply to my own post and be like, oh, actually, I made a mistake. But I fixed that little mistake and I took a step back to kind of think about my whole process to get here. I think my biggest lesson was the importance of planning before the piece. It's not like I didn't get to enjoy the fruit of my labor. I mean, after all, isn't that tomato pretty awesome looking? It's just that I made a lot of changes as this project went on, and not all of them were productive. Not necessarily that, you need to be 100% productive and in the grind set and all that stuff, but it would have been nice to have had a little bit more structure. In the end, though, I had a ton of fun and I walked away with some cool art and some more experience, so I'm happy. I hope you enjoyed this pixel art journey and walked away with something cool too. Thanks for watching.